Johnny Soloman dropping a few bombs last night on Hannity. Man, did he did not disappoint. He was on Sean's show last night and just dropped a tactical nuke on the battlefield. By the way, people, I know the difference between tactical nukes. I get it. I just like the term because I know what they are. Some people email me, the tactical nukes are the smaller battlefield. I get it. It's just a line. Okay, here's a piece in the Hill at the show notes. Listen, there are rarely must-reads. There are a lot of should-reads. This is a must-read up at the show notes now. John Soloman. The one secret memos cast doubt on Joe Biden's Ukraine story. These one secret memos. So what happened last night? I just got done telling you, and I'm going to motor through this quick because it's easy to explain. A little easier than the Hillary Clinton Ukraine angle. The Democrats, I agree with your emails, are covering a lot of things in Ukraine. They're covering up Biden, they're covering up Hillary, and they're covering up the Ukrainian collusion with the DNC to give the Manafort information to the FBI. They're covering all of that. Lyshenko, Nellie Orr, I get it. But the Biden angle is important. And no, I don't agree that the Democrat candidates for president want this out there. So you understand the story. It's simple again. Biden's kid gets the job at Burisma, the natural gas company, after Biden travels to Ukraine in 2014. It's a lucrative $1 million thing, $50,000 a month, as Biden's in Ukraine actually talking about natural gas, among other things. The investigation starts into that deal right away. It sounds corrupt, smells bad. Biden then tries to get the prosecutor fired. Matter of fact, does get the prosecutor, Victor Shokin, looking into that Burisma deal fired. Okay? Simple, right? Biden's kid gets a sweet gig. Ukrainians look into it. Biden demands the guy looking into it gets fired. That is the scandal. Now, Biden's story is this, Joe. Biden's story is, no. We just wanted the prosecutor looking into my kid's sweetheart deal fired because he was a really bad guy. And to boot, those cases against my kid, this is Joe Biden, against Hunter, had already concluded by the time I made these demands. The verdict is in. That is colossal BS.
All right.
None of that is true. So, from the excellent Johnny Solomon's piece, please read the link in my show notes. It is well worth your time. Let's go through John's talking points here. John has documents, unlike Joe Biden, from the Ukrainian government and others, showing that Biden story is complete, total BS. Let's go to takeaway number one. Burisma, the company Joe Biden's kid Hunter works for, in this $50,000 sinecure he has, Burisma's own lawyers, remember the cases that, hold that up for a second. Biden's saying that they wanted the prosecutor looking into his kid fired because he was corrupt, not because it had anything to do with my kid. Here's from the piece. Wrong. For instance, quote, Burisma's American legal representatives met with Ukrainian officials just days after Biden forced the firing of the prosecutor and offered, listen to this, folks, quote, an apology for dissemination of false information by U.S. representatives and public figures about Ukrainian prosecutors, according to the Ukrainian government's own memos of the meeting. The effort to secure the meeting began the same day the prosecutor's firing was announced. So Biden's story A, the lie, Joe Biden. This was a corrupt guy. We wanted him fired. It didn't matter he was looking into my kid. The actual lawyer for Joe Biden's kid's company. Hey, we're really sorry we lied about the prosecutor in that thing yesterday. My bad. Nelson Muntz moment. What did they think? The Ukrainian government in this meeting wasn't taking notes? Joe Biden's story is a lie. The lawyers for Hunter Biden's company have already admitted they lied about the prosecutor. Don't worry, Natasha Bertrand and collusion hoaxers. Nothing to see here, Joe. Nothing to see here. Don't you worry at all. We have a carpet here. Sweep it under. Takeaway number two, the deuce. This one's a beaut. They actually try to set up these lawyers' meetings with the Obama administration. Listen to this one. In addition, Burisma, again, Hunter Biden's company, for his cutie pie little job there. $50K a month. In addition, Burisma's American team offered to introduce Ukrainian prosecutors to Obama administration officials to make amends, Joe, for lying about their prosecutor, according to that memo and the American legal team's internal emails. Holy Moses. Not only are they admitting to lying about the prosecutor, Joe Biden's people, Now, lawyers for Hunter Biden's company are brokering arrangements to meet with the Obama administration. What the heck are Burisma lawyers doing setting up meetings with our White House? They work for us. To make amends for what, Joe? Amends for lying about Shokin, the prosecutor. Oh, he was fired because he was corrupt. No, he was fired because he was looking into your kid. Amends? What do you have to make amends for? If he was fired because he was corrupt, what amends for what? Liars. Don't worry, media people. There's nothing to see here. Nothing at all. But Trump was going to build Trump Tower in Moscow. Yeah, that's the real story. You total imbeciles. Takeaway number 3. This one's a doozy, too. The Giuliani thing. I love this. Because remember, their thing is, Trump sent Giuliani over there. Quote, Ukrainian prosecutors said they have tried to get this information to the DOJ since the summer of 2018. Oh, really? Fearing it might be evidence of possible violations of U.S. ethics laws. Wow, isn't that fascinating, Joe? First, they hired a former federal prosecutor to bring the information to the U.S. attorney in New York, who they say showed no interest. Wow, shocker. Deep state DOJ swamp rats aren't interested in any Biden corruption. Here, listen to this last line. Then the Ukrainians reached out to President Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani. Wait, that's not what they told us, Joe. The Democrats told us Giuliani initiated all of this. That's what they told us. So now we know the real story, that the Ukrainians smell a rat here and a potential criminal case against the VP's kid. They go to prosecutors, swamp rat DOJ type, say, we're not interested. And then they reach out to Giuliani to try and clean up this corruption. But yeah, Joe, you're right. This is all a Trump scandal.
Yeah.
Dopes.
Yeah.
Photo 4. I call them photos because I take screenshots. Screenshot 4 from John Soloman's piece. The investigation, ladies and gentlemen, was not closed. Keep that up there. Remember Joe Biden's lie. Oh, by the time I demanded the prosecutor looking into my kid was fired, that case had already closed looking into my son's company, Burisma. No, wrong from the piece. Shocker, Joe. Some media outlets have reported that Evergreen, by the way, that's some media. They should say some Pravda hacks have reported that at the time Joe Biden forced the firing in March of 2016, there were no open investigations. Those reports are wrong. Again, Evergreen, folks. Evergreen. A British-based investigation of Burisma's owner was closed down in early 2015 on a technicality when a deadline for documents was not met. But the Ukrainian Prosecutor General's office still had 2 open inquiries in March of 2016 when Biden's demanding the prosecutor looking into this case be fired, according to the official case file provided to Solomon. One of those cases involved taxes, the other allegations of corruption. Burisma announced the cases against it were not closed and settled until January of 2017. I know, Libs, you can't do math and follow basic numbers, but Joe, someone brought up Jay's abacus last night. We haven't spoken about him in a while.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need, do you have Jay's abacus?
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to do some simple math. A guy named Jay sent us an abacus a long time ago for you renegade Republican listeners. So, Joe, I want you to do simple math for me. This is very, very, well, actually, this is maybe a little bit complicated. Get the abacus out.
Okay.
I want you to do a subtraction for me, and I want you to tell me, January of 2017, I want you to subtract that from January 2016. How many years is that? 10, 20, or 1? Get the abacus. I know this is tough. Is that 1 year, 10 years, or 20 years? I know, think about it. It's hard. Don't get this wrong.
That's 1 year.
Thank you.
That's 1 year.
Is
I'm
it?
glad
Wait.
we have this.
I know we have to. Jay, I know you're. Thank you again for the abacus.
Jay.
We were introducing Jay's abacus to our new listeners. But having said that, Joe, there's a second part to this question that's very difficult. Now, you can call in a lifeline if you need. I know it's a 1 year difference between January 2017 and March 2016. Okay, is January 2017 after or before March of 2016? Call a lifeline if you need. Take your time.
17, 16. I'm going to take a guess and say it's after, Dan.
Yes! Ding, ding. The verdict is in. Armacost is correct.
All right.
So we now know, thanks to Jay's abacus and brilliant Joe Armacost, that Joe Biden claimed the investigation into his son was closed when he demanded the firing in March of 2016. But Burisma themselves and the official Ukrainian case files show in January of 2017, after, as Joe beautifully stated, those cases were still open. Media people, don't worry. Don't you worry about the truth. You just whoosh, right over your melons. Don't you worry. Whoosh. Let's give the side view. My horrible profile for my broken nose. I got punched by my brother once in sparring training for a mixed martial arts thing he wanted to do. He broke my nose twice. Remember that, Paula? Paula comes downstairs. She goes, I said, I think we have a problem. My nose is bleeding. My nose was like here on the side of my face. She goes, yeah, you got a problem, dude. Like, you want to move that thing straight again? And what did I say to you? She goes, I think you should stop now. I'm like, no, we got 2 more rounds. Remember that? She's like, my gosh, are you an idiot? I went 2 more rounds. I couldn't smell for like 6 months. I'm not even kidding. My nose was so broken. It was so bad.
Oh, man.
Don't you worry, folks. Let it coast right over your silly little heads. The investigation was closed. Oh, yeah, okay. Just start selling Jay's. Was there a plural for, is it abacuses or abaci or something like that?
Abaci?
We should start selling them to media people who can't do basic math. All right, one more takeaway, and then I get 2 quick stories I'm going to run. Okay, so Shokin, the prosecutor who Biden wants fired, is looking into his kid. They said he was corrupt, and he was told he was fired because of corruption, not because he was looking into his kid. From the Soloman piece. In a newly sworn affidavit prepared by a European court, Shokin actually testified that he was fired in March of 2016, and he was told the reason. And the reason was that Biden was unhappy about the Burisma investigation. Quote, the truth is I was forced out because I was leading a wide-ranging corruption probe into Burisma Holdings, a natural gas firm active in Ukraine, and Joe Biden's son, Hunter, was a member of the board of directors. Shokin testified in a sworn affidavit. Again, media folks, don't you worry. Let's focus on the Trump Tower in Moscow. What Trump Tower in Moscow? Exactly, the one that doesn't exist. That's the real conflict of interest, right? Idiots.
Son of a biscuit.
Son of a biscuit. Well said, my friend. All right.
Yes.
You get that. Let me just tie all that up for you now. Dems are hiding their Ukraine collusion. Dems are hiding Hillary Clinton's Ukraine involvement. Dems are hiding a devastating scandal on Biden. You now know the truth. Biden's lying. And shifts a sleazeball. I just want to throw that in extra in case you missed it.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I want to leave you with some good stories because I know it's been a kind of a depressing week with all this nonsense, impeachment, all this stuff.
Oh, brother.
But I titled these new rules stories. Remember the new rules, right? We win, you lose. Yeah. We're done playing nice, okay? You want to use Alinsky rules? We'll use them too. I am done with the nonsense. We're now in battlefield morality. You want to destroy us, we're going to fight back. Again, we'll leave the sicko violent stuff for you lunatics on the left, the anti-First Amendment Antifa people. But we are going to fight back using political tactics you use on us. Don't care at all. So here are some of the new rule stories. Here is a guy I absolutely adore. Tom Homan, up on Capitol Hill yesterday. Tom Homan is the best. Disclosure, I know Tom, not that it matters, but, whatever. Tom's up on Capitol Hill,